everyone, my name is Bobola and welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year! I hope everyone's having a really great start to 2021. So today's video is actually going to be a Q&A. So a couple weeks ago I asked my Instagram followers to ask me anything and you guys asked me some really good questions. It actually took me a while to answer these. I had to really think on some of them. But the interesting thing is I'm pretty sure I specified that they didn't have to be modeling related questions. So I was expecting a lot more like personal or like just regular life related questions, but like practically all the questions were modeling related. I'm not complaining, that's totally fine. I'm more than happy to answer them, but that was just really interesting to see. I have my little script here. I answered all the questions. Usually like for my YouTube videos, I don't need a script, but for this one I needed a script because like you guys asked me so many questions and they were really good questions too. I felt like I was writing an essay, but like in a good way. Before I get into these questions, obviously, I look a little different. I don't have my teeny weeny afro anymore. I got braids, obviously. I just wanted to quickly talk about this because one of the reasons I love the holidays is because the modeling industry slows down drastically. Clients stop shooting, studios shut down for a few weeks. So models like myself have the opportunity to experiment with our hairstyles and our nails. So I was really excited to get braids because I haven't had braids or any kind of long hair in a really long time. But I just wanted to say I did these myself. I must have gotten my superpowers on December 21st. That was the day all the black people got our superpowers, right? Anyway, I'm pretty sure I got some superpowers because prior to this, I did not know anything about braiding hair. I've tried to learn in the past, but it just like never stuck. I mean, that's why it looks kind of janky because this is my first attempt at braiding on my own head. So be nice. But honestly, I'm proud of myself. And then I had to redo half of my head and I redid them in these nails. So, I mean, you gotta give me some credit. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that before we got into these questions. So without further ado, what keeps you anchored to keep going in what you do? My family, 100%. I'm very close with my family. I have 3 sisters and we're all best friends. I'm really close with my cousins. I grew up very close with everybody in my family and they have been so incredibly supportive of my modeling career, despite the fact that it's unconventional, despite the fact that it's not really a traditional career path, especially in my culture. I'm honestly so grateful to have them as a support system. Having a goal of wanting to make my family proud and wanting to give back to them definitely helps to keep me anchored and just to keep me grounded and sane, and it helps to keep me motivated. It reminds me to keep going despite like any setbacks I might face or any failures that I might face. So yeah, my family is definitely a big one. I don't know why I'm so nervous to film this. Like, your worst and best modeling experience. Okay, I get asked this question a lot and I'll be very honest, like I don't have a worst modeling experience. I'm very lucky to say that most of my shoots have been pretty decent. I mean, not all of them have been great, but they haven't been horrible. So I don't have a really bad shoot experience.
Okay guys, so I'm editing this and I just realized my reading comprehension failed me and that this question was asking about modeling experiences as opposed to photo shoots. And even though I haven't had a single bad photo shoot experience, I've definitely had a modeling experience from hell with an old agency that I'm no longer represented by. I'm probably gonna do a story time on that soon, so stay tuned.
As for my best modeling experience, it would have to be one of my very first photo shoots. It was for a bridal magazine called Today's Bride. They flew me out to California to shoot and the team was spectacular. Everyone was so incredibly nice. That was like the one thing I remember from the shoot. It was just how friendly and warm and welcoming everybody was. Being that it was one of my first shoots, it was kind of like I felt like that was like me being welcomed into the fashion industry. And I really appreciate that to this day. I still remember everybody on set. It was a stunning editorial. We were shooting by the beach. It really exposed me to the more difficult side of modeling because the photos came out stunning and it looked like effortless. But I had to stand barefoot on some rocks at the beach, but it was cold as hell. It was so cold. It was really difficult, but everyone was so kind. It was all expenses paid, so I didn't have to pay anything out of pocket. It's always really nice when the client just like pays for the flight, pays for the accommodation, pays for food. Like, it doesn't get any better than that. Great shoot. Definitely hands down the best modeling experience for me. What's your goal as a model and your dream destination? I also get this question a lot, but I never want to go into too much detail. I don't want to jinx my plans. If the universe allows me, I would absolutely love to shoot for some prestigious high fashion brands. I have a few brands in my head that I would really like to shoot for. I don't want to give it away though. That's gonna have to stay a secret. It would also be really cool to land an amazing beauty campaign. That's just like always been one of my dreams. And it's so funny because everyone always assumes that I've done a beauty campaign before, like a massive like national or international beauty campaign, and I have never done that. I have worked for smaller, more local beauty brands, but in terms of like a really like huge beauty campaign, I haven't done that before, and I would really, really love to be able to do that one day. As for dream destination, I would love to be able to go back to the motherland, anywhere in the motherland. My home country, I would love to shoot in Nigeria, I would love to shoot in South Africa, Kenya. That would definitely be my dream destination for sure. Advice to those new to the modeling industry. So two really important things that have helped me in my journey so far. The first is don't take anything personally. It's all business. Don't let anybody's criticism or anybody's perception of you affect the way you feel about yourself. You're gonna hear so many different things from so many different people. You'll never be the perfect model for everybody. You might be too tall, too short, too skinny, too fat, too dark, too light. Somebody is always going to be dissatisfied with their perception of you or their perception of what you should look like. Don't even think about it, just let it roll off your back. And I swear to you, this industry will get so much easier, and it'll make it so much easier to deal with the rejection. Models deal with rejection so much, so it really helps to handle that rejection as well. The second piece of advice I would say is do not compare yourself to other models. That is the absolute worst thing you could possibly do. I'll be honest, I'm still struggling with that. Sometimes I'll be scrolling through Instagram and I'll see like a really gorgeous model and I'll just be like, oh, damn, like I wish my hair was as long as hers. I wish my skin was as light as hers. You know, I wish I was as skinny as her. And then I have to like take a step back and be like, whoa, like that is not a healthy mindset at all. This industry pits models against each other so much already, and that's the last thing I need to be doing. We all bring different and unique things to the table. We need to tap into our differences and embrace them so that we can use it to elevate ourselves and therefore elevate our careers. Best part of living in your city. The best part of living in Toronto, I'd have to say the creative community in Toronto is absolutely incredible. I really took it upon myself in 2020 to research more local artists, whether it be photographers, makeup artists, videographers, stylists, and I just really wanted to get to know more people in the scene. It's incredible what you find when you really open your mind to the talent that is in this city. Like, it's amazing, and I'm just really excited to see what 2021 has in store for a lot of these people, because they need to be offered a lot more opportunities in Toronto. I have like a really good feeling about the energy in this city and the energy and the quality of work that Toronto creatives are bringing to the table. But yeah, definitely best part about living in Toronto, just the creative talent, the opportunity to meet so many different people from so many different walks of life. Yeah, really, really dope. The most important thing 2020 taught me. I've been asked this question before and I thought about the answer to it. Like, I had a really hard time answering this question because I was looking for something new that 2020 taught me, and 2020 didn't teach me anything new. It just reaffirmed what I already knew. The biggest thing it reaffirmed, I think, for me and for a lot of people is the importance of community. The community is so, so important, whether it be your family, your friends. It just reaffirmed that I want to continue surrounding myself with good people. I want to continue surrounding myself with like-minded people, positive people, people who will always make the best out of a bad situation, and people who will respect you, honor you, and always have your back. That was a huge reason why I was able to get through 2020 relatively okay. And I think that's what I learned, or what was just reaffirmed for me. I loved this question. Well, this wasn't really a question, more like a request. Teach me the art of not giving a. The funny thing about this is one of my friends actually sent me the book. The lighting is changing drastically right now because the sun is setting. So hopefully I can finish all these questions before it gets really dark. Like I mentioned earlier, my friend actually gave me the book. She sent it to me a couple months ago and I've been meaning to read, but I've just been like procrastinating and like pushing it back. But in terms of like just in a general life sense, this was something I really had to force myself to learn, especially once I started modeling, because Modeling is not a traditional career path for anybody, let alone my very traditional Nigerian strict family. So I had to kind of like give myself a pep talk and be like, if this is what you want to do, don't care what anybody else thinks, don't care about any doubts anybody might cast on you, like just go for it, just do it. That mentality has helped me a lot. It really ties back into not taking things personally when it comes to castings for modeling. But once you master really just like not giving any weight to what people think about you, life gets so much easier. It's like a weight has been lifted off your shoulders. It's almost like a sense of freedom, and this is something that I have to continuously work at. It's not something that I just like mastered one day, especially now where everyone is so hyper visible online with social media. It's really important to kind of like force yourself to have thick skin so that you can give yourself the freedom to literally do whatever you want. Once you get a taste of that feeling, it's like something you want to keep rushing, you want to keep chasing, because it's just so liberating. I don't know if I answered that question well, but I hope that helped somehow. I don't know. It's definitely something I have to continuously work at, especially because I deal with a lot of anxiety and stuff, and I'm very, very hyper aware of how people perceive me. I've just always grown up like that. So it's definitely something I have to keep working at. Sorry, these are a lot of questions. Are there other places you would like to live throughout the span of your life? Yes, absolutely, 100%. I definitely want to go back to Europe. I want to try living in London again. I would love to live somewhere in France one day, maybe also Spain. But yeah, like I definitely have no interest in settling down somewhere anytime soon. I want to see as much of the world as I possibly can, and the great thing about modeling is that it's a really great way to travel. So fingers crossed, I really, really hope I'll be able to travel soon and get the opportunity to live in a different country. What's the dream with your modeling career / life? The dream. I have so many dreams. Like, I don't have like one solid dream. Part of me is kind of going with the flow because I feel like there's so much that I still haven't experienced yet. There's so many people I have yet to meet. So I feel like my dream is always changing. Like the more people I meet, the more I learn about the fashion industry and other creative industries, my dream is always kind of like editing itself. But just in a general sense, I just want to be comfortable. I want to be able to support myself and my family if I do end up having one. I want to be able to make enough money so that I can give back to my family. I just want to be comfortable. I want to travel as much as I can. I want to meet as many people as I can. I want to try as many different things and as many different hobbies as I can. I guess my dream would be, I just want to live my life to the absolute fullest. I don't want to be one of those people that looks back and is like, I should have done that. I should have traveled here. You know, I should have learned this skill. I should have learned this language. You know, I don't know. My dream is just to have a good time. I don't know. I feel like it's just that simple. I feel like I answered the modeling part of this question when I talked about, you know, wanting to have a beauty campaign and whatnot. When did you decide to go natural and model? So I actually decided to go natural before I even thought about modeling, to be honest. In terms of my hair, I cut all my hair off in high school. The reason I did that was because I think it was around that time that like the natural hair movement for Black women was like really gaining traction. I was just like really interested in that, and I just consciously made a decision to start loving my natural hair. Prior to that, I had always relaxed my hair, straightened my hair. My hair was going through a lot of heat damage. So I just jumped on the natural hair wave movement, and it was the best decision I could have made for myself. I loved it. Having shorter hair helped me to feel more comfortable in my skin and to help me embrace my skin because I no longer had hair to hide behind. I couldn't hide behind my wigs and weaves and braids anymore. So that was the reason I decided to go natural. I decided to get into modeling after I finished university. I just wanted to make sure that I had something to fall back on and I had like a steady education that I could fall back on in case I changed my mind about modeling or in case it just didn't work out. So yeah, it was right after I finished university I decided to pursue modeling. Did it take a while to get comfortable shooting more risque photo shoots? Honestly, it didn't. I've always kind of had an open mind towards nudity, especially when it comes to nudity in art and in fashion. So it really didn't take me long to get comfortable with shooting more risque photo shoots, but I can actually pinpoint the exact moment that I personally felt comfortable shooting a little more risque or showing a little more skin. And this was in 2018, and I shot for Vogue Italia. So this Vogue Italia shoot was one of the more memorable parts of my career. It actually helped to elevate my career when I came back to Toronto. But this shoot will always have a special place in my heart because I feel like this was the shoot that really helped me to see myself as a model. I was told before I got to set that there was going to be some semi-nudity, and I was open to it. I was like, you know what, like, why not? I'm glad that they had the decency to tell me beforehand because some people don't. The photographer actually gave me the option of shooting in a closed set, so meaning that for any of the shoots where I had to show a little bit of skin, she would pretty much send everybody away, and it would just be me and her and possibly the other model. I thought about it and I was like, you know what? No, I'm fine. Like, I don't need a closed set. I really wanted to I think at that point I had made the decision that I really just wanted to like really jump into this modeling thing for real. And honestly, I felt really comfortable with everybody on set. Nobody made me feel weird. There were some shots that were a little bit more risque. There was one shot where I had like my whole boob out, and there was one that showed like my butt. The clothing was a lot more revealing than what I was used to, but this photo shoot really challenged me. It challenged me to see a different side of fashion, and it challenged me to see fashion as art. This shoot was incredible. I believe it was a step up in my career. Prior to that, like, whenever people ask me about modeling, I'd always say like, oh, you know, I'd always refer to modeling as like a hobby of mine. Despite the fact that I literally uprooted my life and moved to Toronto to pursue modeling, I always kind of like downplayed it. I treated it like a hobby. So it wasn't until this shoot that I finally was like, okay, I'm a model. So yeah, I'm fine with nudity so long as like feel comfortable with the story and the photographer, and the shoot isn't like me being sexualized through the male gaze or whatever, you know? I really hope I'll be able to do more. I'm really trying to like push the envelope in terms of my shooting style and my image, and I really just miss shooting edgier shoots. Yeah. Okay, next question. Health regimen, mental and physical. I don't really have a fixed routine. I get bored really easily, so I like to switch things up. Mind you, I haven't really been active in the past couple months. Like, I haven't been as active as I usually am because, you know, like, fall was just like not a good time for me and for a lot of other people, like, I'm sure. So I was kind of slacking on the fitness side, but I'm just getting back into it. So the main part of my fitness routine is cardio. In warmer weather, I love to run around downtown. I don't have a fixed route because I get bored easily. And also, it's good not to have a fixed running route because you never know who might be like watching you and following you. I know this might sound far-fetched, but like, I know way too many women who have had stalkers. Like, way too many. That's just one thing that's like always in the back of my mind. Like, a lot of the decisions I make have to do with my safety. You don't know if you have a stalker. Like, I don't want to take that chance. Like, Toronto is crazy. Toronto's great, but it can also be very dangerous. I always switch up my running route. I never run the same route ever. I also love taking fitness classes, mostly yoga and Pilates, obviously pre-COVID. I love doing hot yoga. I also just love walking around. Like, if I'm maybe not in the mood to be as active, I'm not really in the mood to go running or take any fitness classes, I just walk around, honestly. Like, you'll see me on any given day, like, I will be walking somewhere. If the weather permits, like, I will walk everywhere. It doesn't matter if the place is an hour away. Sometimes like a place will be 2 hours away and I'll be like, hey, like, if I have no plans, I'll walk 2 hours, and that's my exercise for the day. In terms of mental health, I've started meditating a lot more. I was really into it like towards the end of 2019, beginning of 2020, and then I fell off, and then I recently started back up again. But meditating, I feel, has really helped me. I usually do it early in the mornings when I wake up, and I feel like it really sets the tone for the day. Meditating is hard. It takes practice, and I'm not perfect at it yet. I still have to get comfortable with my breathing and whatnot, not getting distracted. I've found that it really does help me. I also love talking to myself. This might sound weird, and please let me know if you guys do this too. I'll wake up in the morning, usually in the morning, and before doing anything, just look at myself and just say positive things and positive affirmations. Like this morning, I just looked in the mirror and I just started saying random things like, you're beautiful, you're intelligent, you're worthy, people love you. Just saying those things lifts your mood and lifts your spirit. Even if I'm in like the worst mood and I don't want to do it, it just helps to lift my spirits by that much. I really recommend talking to yourself in the mirror and just like telling yourself how beautiful you are, how hot you are. That has honestly helped me so much, also with my self-confidence, because I tend to be very shy. Yeah, talking to myself has really helped with my mental health. Who's your inspiration into becoming a model? Oh my God, pretty much any Black model that has come before me. They're all my inspiration. I can't even imagine the things that they had to deal with in order to get to where they are today, in order to pave the way for models like myself and models who are gonna come after me. I have so much respect. Like, obviously Naomi Campbell's a big one, but there's so many other models as well. Maria Borges, I mentioned her in one of my previous videos. She was the first Black Victoria's Secret model to walk in her natural afro. God, there are like so many legends, like Iman, Alec Weck, Joan Smalls, Beverly Peel, Danielle Luna. They're all so beautiful and so different in their own way, and these are the women that I researched and looked up to before getting into modeling, just to see like their path and what they've been through in the modeling industry. It really humbles me. So yeah, those are just a few of the people that have inspired me and still inspire me to this day. Yeah, pretty much any Black model. Your favorite part about modeling and your favorite shoot/client. My favorite part about modeling would definitely be the spontaneity of it and the fact that you're rarely ever doing the same thing twice. Most of the time it's gonna be a different set. You're always gonna be surrounded by different people. You're gonna be working with different clients all the time. No 2 days are gonna be exactly the same, and that's what I love about it, because like I mentioned earlier, I get very bored easily. I just love the opportunity to meet so many different people that I probably never would have met otherwise. I love being exposed to different kinds of career paths in the fashion industry and in the film industry. It just exposes you to so much more. For example, my Vogue Italia shoot, that was the first time that I had even heard of the term set designer. So for that shoot, they had built the set from scratch. When I walked in, I could actually see them putting the finishing touches on the set, and it was just so mind-blowing to me because I'd never heard of anything like that. I didn't know it was a career path. So this shoot was actually inspired by a painting by the artist Francis Bacon. If I hadn't done that shoot, I wouldn't have known about this artist. After that shoot, I went home and I researched. So that was just like a cute little moment, you know? It's so amazing to see the multitude of places that people can draw inspiration from, and the fact that like I'm able to be a part of making someone's vision come to life is so humbling to me. So just being exposed and learning about so many new and different exciting things would definitely be my favorite part about modeling. As for my favorite shoot, again, definitely the Vogue Italia shoot. Great team, great shoot, great concept, great story. The styling was phenomenal. The model I shot with, absolutely stunning, and like made me feel so comfortable. That shoot really pushed me too. Those poses were not easy. I had to twist and contort my body in ways that I had never done before, and this shoot helped me to push my boundaries in terms of posing, because prior to that I never really challenged myself when it came to posing. It was more, you know, like really toned down, tame, not very interesting poses. I remember there was one pose I had to do and my back was killing me after. Guys, modeling is not easy. Some of the things we have to do while making it look flawless and making it look as if like it's just so effortless, not everybody can do it. That Vogue Italia shoot was like, I think that's gonna be a hard one for me to top. Not even because it was like lavish, or it wasn't like all expenses paid like the bridal shoot I talked about earlier. No, I just left the set feeling so inspired. That's a feeling that I just like keep wanting to chase. I hope that answers your question. Last question. Was there a point you wanted to give up modeling, and what made you keep going? Oh God, like every other week. There have been lots of instances where I've wanted to quit modeling. I feel like I have this conversation with myself every other week. Like, is it worth it to keep going? Should I keep trying? Because it's just so unexpected and there's absolutely no job security in this. So I'm always questioning myself, but the one thing that keeps me going is the fact that I'm like, I don't want to look back asking myself, what if? Any model's career can literally turn around in the blink of an eye. Yes, you can work hard. Yes, you can do everything in your power to, you know, level up or improve your appearance. You can work on your runway walk. You can work on your posing, your facial expressions. But a huge, huge part of success in modeling is luck and just timing. So one thing that keeps me going is the fact that like I could wake up tomorrow and I could have that one casting or that one photo shoot that could literally turn my entire life around. If there's a possibility that could happen, in my mind, it's completely worth it to keep going. I hope that answers your question. Whew. I hope I answered all of those questions well. I answered them to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for watching this. If you watched it to the end, I really appreciate you guys. And again, thank you to everybody that sent me a question. I really appreciate it. You guys are so sweet. When I posted that question on my Instagram, I honestly did not expect to get the response I did. I was expecting to get like 1 or 2 questions. So I was feeling kind of insecure, but thank you guys so much. You guys are the sweetest. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.